We look into our 46th Psalm, and this is one of those helpful or fortifying types of Psalms. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear, though the earth should change, though the mountains shake, in the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble with its tumult. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy habitation of the Most High. God is in the midst of the city, it shall not be moved. God will help it when the morning dawns. The nations are in an uproar, the kingdoms totter. He utters his voice, the earth melts. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Come behold the works of the Lord. See what desolations he has brought on the earth. He makes war cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the shields with fire. Be still and know that I am God. I am exalted among the nations. I am exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy habitation of the Most High. Yes. Would that river be a river in heaven or on earth? Would that city be a city in heaven or on earth? Checking on, excuse me. There, thank you for your patience. Checking on planet Earth, our first guess might be Jerusalem, the capital of Israel. That might be, quote, the city of God. And for the river, what about the famous Jordan River? A quick look at the map of Israel shows the River Jordan is at least 20 miles from Jerusalem. That would be 2 walking days with a heavy water jar. The earthly river and city theory does not seem to hold water, pun intended. The river and the city appear to be a heavenly reference. Still, there's a lot of symbolic value to the River Jordan. Jordan was the river. Jordan was the river to cross by Moses and the children when they were going to go into the promised land. And it is at the River Jordan that the mantle of Moses' leadership was handed over to Joshua. And the River Jordan then literally goes a long ways in the history of God's people, all the way down to the time of Jesus. We remember Jesus, of course, is baptized in the Jordan. And there is a spiritual lesson in the geography of the Jordan River. The river starts up north above the Sea of Galilee. It provides water for good cropland and for the beautiful freshwater Sea of Galilee. Looking down at Galilee from the air, some say its outline looks like a harp. A harp as in the kind of harp that King David played. The Jordan River continues south of the Sea of Galilee for about 70 miles. The Jordan then empties into the Dead Sea. This is where we want to talk about the harp and the dead carp. Whereas the Sea of Galilee has the shape of the harp, the Dead Sea has that oblong shape. To me, it looks like a dead carp, just lying there, with a couple of fins missing. It just lays there. It's not quite a rectangle. It's not quite an oval. We say dead because the Dead Sea literally is a dead body of water. Galilee is full of fresh water. The Dead Sea is full of salt water. The satellite map shows a lot of green around the Sea of Galilee. The good crops grow there. Lots of good fish are harvested from the lake. The Dead Sea looks brown and white all around. There's little farming going on around the Dead Sea, unless you might be growing a rock garden. There are not a lot of fish to catch. In fact, there are no fish in the Dead Sea. The contrast between Galilee and the Dead Sea provides this further spiritual symbolism. Galilee is living water because it contains fresh water. The Dead Sea has dead water because hardly anything can grow in that salt water. Galilee is the lowest freshwater lake in the world at 700 feet below sea level. The Dead Sea is the lowest saltwater lake in the world at 1,400 feet below sea level. Galilee has the Jordan River to keep it fresh. The Jordan brings fresh water from the north, and the Jordan takes water out down to the south. But by the time the water gets down to the Dead Sea, there is no escape. The Jordan River empties into the Dead Sea and does not have an outlet to the south. The fresh water picks up alkali from the water runoff and becomes stagnant. The Dead Sea becomes a catch basin for salt and water. We see a powerful parable for our spiritual life. When we seek out living water, that is the spiritual water of Jesus Christ, we have fresh water. We have fresh spiritual water to quench the thirst of our souls. When we settle for dead water, when we settle for what the world offers, we become spiritually stale. Without living water from Jesus Christ to freshen up our souls, we just become stale and stagnant. The spiritual alkali just builds up in our soul. We become briny, spiny, and stale. We run the risk of turning into spiritual pickle juice. Well, now, we simply need to have an outlet for our spiritual life. Life is going to happen to us. The good news, the bad news, it is going to happen to us. When we are attending the school of hard knocks, every so often we need some recess. We need a water break. We need the Sabbath, and we need the watering of Jesus Christ. Because we run the risk of becoming a dry, parched spiritual creature. We can play the harp or settle for the carp. We can walk with the carpenter of Galilee or struggle in the wasteland of the Dead Sea. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God. Jesus showed us where that river can lead us. It can start with the water of baptism and continue with the blood of his communion. It can take us through this life. It can take us to the next life. There is a glad river, and we want to go with it. We want to go where it is going, to the city of God, to the throne of grace, to the place where God truly is there for us. Amen.